Welcome back to Outdoors with Larry Ray on ESPN 790 AM. Brought to you proudly by the Tennessee Wildlife and Resources Agency.
Hey, good Saturday morning, and welcome back to Outdoors with Larry Ray. No, he's not in studio. He's still not feeling well, and so it's Bill Cooksey and I doing our thing. And, hey, by the way, you can listen to us here in Memphis on AM 790, 92.9 FM, or in Brownsville, 1520 AM or 95.3, and also in Jackson, 101.5 News Talk. And Bill, it's great to have you with, you and I are here on the fourth Saturday of every month, and and you've been around doing some great funny stuff, and not funny, but some great stuff in Florida, and maybe we'll have a chance to talk a little bit about it later on this thing. But our next segment, I can't wait to hear about it. And, you are, in my mind, one of the best duck hunters and duck hunting knowledge and everything else. And why don't you take over the next segment here and introduce our next guest?
Sure thing, and I appreciate it, Ron. I guess I've just been around a long time, I think. But I'm tickled to have our next guest on because he's an old hunting buddy of mine. Y'all hear me say that a lot, but he and I, we were just talking off air, and it's been years since we've even run into each other. So I'm tickled to bring him on here. But also this event he's about to talk about, it kind of harkens back to some of my best times in Memphis, in the 90s and early 2000s. So let's get David Schuessler. He's Ducks Unlimited's Chief of Event Fundraising, and he's here to talk about an event they're going to be kind of it's new yet reintroducing to the Memphis area here in 2025. David, welcome to the show.
Thank you, Bill. It's good to be with you, although this cold front's about to push through. I think we need to get done with this interview and go find some specs to hunt in Arkansas somewhere real quick.
There you go.
Amen. They're there. I know they're there.
They're there, and that's where I'm headed later on today. I tell you, as excited as I am about this colder weather that's heading to the Mid-South, I'm equally, if not more, excited about Ducks Unlimited bringing our expo home to Memphis. And the name of it's DUX. Some of the listeners may have seen maybe something in our magazine or heard something about it. It's not a new show. It certainly will be new coming back to Memphis, but DUX is our national expo, and for the past 3 years, we have held it out at Texas Motor Speedway in Fort Worth, Texas.
Yeah.
Had some great shows out there. I think we really engaged with a lot of the sportsmen and women out in that North Texas and Oklahoma and Kansas and everybody that was within driving distance of there. But our intent is really never for one of our big shows like this to stay in one location forever. And we were very, very fortunate that this past August we held our every 2-year National Leadership Conference at the newly renovated Renaissance Convention Center in downtown Memphis. And when we walked in that thing for the first time, it was at the same time we were wondering where we were going to bring our big expo. And it didn't take us long to say, you know what? We're coming home to Memphis. So in August, the first weekend in August of 2025, August 1st, 2nd, and 3rd, the DUX will be in downtown Memphis.
So, David, this is, obviously it's going to be a little different for we old folks who remember the old Great Outdoors festivals because so much of that was outdoors. I'm kind of liking the sound of this in August.
Well, yeah, it will be indoors. I promise you that. And I tell you, Bill, it was kind of that Great Outdoors Festival footprint when we were out in Texas as well. You could,
oh wow,
you could try out a shotgun, a rifle. You could ride an ATV, but it is so difficult now to find places where you can go and do that. And I'm just going to give you, for instance, the Agri Center where we held the Great Outdoors Festival years ago when it was in Memphis. They're wonderful partners with Ducks Unlimited. They're wonderful neighbors out here where the office is located. But how they use their space has changed.
Yes, it has.
And it's just that there really was no way for us to go back to where we were before and do all of those type of things. And I'll be candid, weather is a risk.
Yeah, no, that's right.
And we dealt with at times severe weather when we were in Texas in the form of wind. And as we were talking to our sponsors, as we were talking to our exhibitors, and even some of the attendees that were there, we started to get the feeling that having that outdoor component to it, while neat and unique, that being able to be in a facility like the convention center and not have to worry about excessive heat or rain or wind might outweigh that. So,
David, I got to tell you,
bit of a change, but we're excited about it.
Yeah, David, I got to tell you, and Bill, the Great Outdoors Festival, I was for every year that it was here in Memphis. I was the ATV coordinator or lead team captain, and I got to tell you, what a great festival. And this thing that you're talking about here, David, is going to essentially be the same thing except in air conditioning.
In air conditioning. We won't be able to ride ATVs, but I tell you, our presenting sponsor of Purina Pro Plan, they'll still be able to bring their dogs inside and do all of the retriever demonstrations and the duck herding and all of the things that they do. So it's going to be more than just walking around and talking to people in booths, which is important. I mean, that's going to be right before hunting season and an opportunity.
Your timing could not be better, David. I mean, all the new products are in, you know, and people are looking. So, man, the opportunity to see everything up close and personal and talk to experts and all about those items that's a good deal.
Yeah, and it is. And in talking with those folks that we know are going to be there as sponsors and exhibitors, they're really excited about that timing as well. I mean, I know for me, you know, that's kind of when you start thinking about it. As soon as it hits August 1st, you're a month out from dove season, which isn't too far from teal season and then spec season and deer season. And so we think it fits really well for this part of the country in just the timing of people wanting to start thinking about that upcoming season.
Well, I'm digging it, David, and I can't wait. 2025, in that regard, I don't want to wish my life away, but I'm looking forward to the event.
Now, how much is it going to cost? Is there a cost to attend?
It'll be $10 for adults.
Wow, that's cheap.
Yep.
Very inexpensive.
Kids 12 and under are free, and, of course, the convention center will have, you know, food and drinks and all of that stuff. You'd be able to come and spend the day there. We believe that there will be folks who will travel to Memphis to not only take opportunity that weekend of coming to the show, but, you know, I know some people in Missouri and in Kentucky and maybe even as far south as North Louisiana who have never been to the Bass Pro Shops Pyramid. And, you know, which our Waterfowling Heritage Center is in. But really, when you think about having that at the convention center, across the street you have Bass Pro Shops, it's really going to be an opportunity not only for Memphians and people in the Mid-South, but some folks outside of the Mid-South to drive in and make maybe even a whole weekend of it, thinking about hunting and fishing and everything that's going to be coming down the pike very soon after that for our 25 and 26 hunting seasons.
Well, that's perfect. And a day at Bass Pro and seeing all the stuff y'all have over there and that facility, but then to get into the Renaissance Center and talk to all the manufacturers, see the Purina folks and their dogs, that'll be priceless. And I know in Dallas, I saw a ton of folks from other parts of the country, so I can't imagine that in Memphis in early August, you won't get the same kind of a turnout of people from all over.
Sure, and there's plenty of hotel space downtown that weighed into our decision. Heck, there's rooms there at the Bass Pro Shops. If any of the listeners have never stayed there, it's worth going and staying, even if you're from Memphis, just one night, and how neat Johnny has built that place to be.
It is a nice place. Yeah.
And so we think it's good for the Mid-South. It's certainly good for us. It gives an opportunity for all of our partners and those who sponsor with us with this event, and to be able to be in front of all the sportsmen and women in this part of the world, as well as those that travel in from around the country. We had, I think at our last one in Texas, I believe we had people from 47 states.
Wow.
And 5 countries.
Hey, David, we got about a minute left. And tell our listeners, if they want more information about the Ducks Unlimited Expo, where do they go?
Well, right now, given that it is a 2025 event, and it's just been announced, we don't have anything online. But if people are interested in contacting us about going ahead and signing up to be an exhibitor, they can contact Logan Nevins at 514-414-3680.
All right. Well, as time gets closer, David, we certainly will be having you back on the air here to talk about this wonderful, wonderful event that's coming to Memphis, and I can't wait to be able to be part of it.
And I'll be glad to get back
on ducks.org soon. And David, let's not go 15 years before we hunt together again.
No doubt, Bill. Let's do it. Let's try to do it this year somewhere.
Perfect. I've got Tennessee covered. You just let me know.
Thank you, David. Have a great day.
Thanks, guys. Have a good day.
Hey, time to take a break here at Outdoors with Larry Ray. We'll be right back.